Heartbreak. I would try.
No. I love this Knicks team. I absolutely love this Knicks team. No heartbreak at all. The refs suck. We have no respect in the league. You know we have no respect in the league. None of our players seem to have that thing that those other superstar players have. So the refs always shit on us. That last play against Randle, if you watch it in slow motion, it was an unfair call. It was an unfair call, and no one else would have got that call.
You know one thing I got to say to everything you're saying? Take notes.
Take notes.
Big Beach. We're here.
My man, Alex.
It's different this time.
What's up, guys? What's up? You heard Mom is angry. She's going off. We're going to get into it. The Knicks lose tonight, a heartbreaker. Even though it wasn't heartbreak, the Knicks showed a lot of effort. But we do lose by 5 points in the end. Shouldn't have happened. You got a lot to say. Let me hear it.
Okay, so here's the deal. We're playing a playoff team, right? Like a legit playoff team with legit superstars. So I went into the game like, okay, we're not really expecting to win this game, but what I did want to see out of this game was the Knicks play with effort and energy, and that's what I saw. They played the way I wanted them to play. I'm very happy with the game. What I'm not happy about is the refs, which I already said.
Yeah.
But we had, it's so unfortunate because we actually had so many opportunities. And so I know obviously it doesn't count if the ball doesn't go in the basket. That's the name of the game, right? But there were so many opportunities for 3-point plays. Right?
Yeah.
And just in general, like opportunities where we actually easily could have won this game. And so that's what kind of hurts me when we started to get blown out, right? I was like, all right, it's gonna be a whole big blowout. When we came back to a 3-point game, man, I was so happy to watch. And that is because they did not let go of that energy. They didn't get defeated. They stayed with that same level of intensity. And that is why we were able to get back to within a 3-point game. So we could have won the game. So that's what's upsetting to me right now is that we could have won the game.
Yeah, I'm a little bit, we'll talk about the refs a little bit more. I'm hurt we didn't get a shot up at least. You know, coming out of a timeout, 5 seconds left, they even said it. That's an eternity in the NBA, right? Right. I was really hoping, as much as, you know, Randall's been our guy, and, you know, you kind of go with the best player usually on the last, the last shot. I kind of really wanted to see IQ get his 3-point off because, you know, I feel with IQ, and he started tonight. You know what? Let's just talk about IQ a little bit, right?
He started tonight. I heard him in this. Wait. Talking about the starting, I know you always talk a lot, so give me a little opportunity to talk a lot. Yo, the beginning of this game, I was screaming like it was a playoff game, and I was like, okay, we got the tip off, right? I'm like, yes, we got the tip off, and then like we started scoring, and I'm like, like I was like, yes, show them who's the boss, show them who's in charge. And I was like, you and I should have been watching the game together tonight.
Oh, man, I was going ham. So IQ starts tonight. Finally, we've been calling for it. Didn't play that great. I know, like, he scored 21 points, and he showed a lot of, he showed that he's not afraid of the moment. He showed that I think we're going to figure out what Tibbs wants to do with him or Rose, right? But IQ definitely showed that this kid is a baller. He did shoot a lot, and he didn't miss a lot. He was like 6 of 18 or something, or 6 of 19. But he did hit his shots when he had to at times, and he did a little bit of playmaking here or there. But I don't even want to be critical of IQ because to me, I'm watching a rookie go against Kyrie Irving and show that he belongs. And even with those, people have talked about his playmaking. He doesn't have everything he needs yet, but he's a rookie. He's showing a lot of growth. And when you look at the other rookie who looks really bad right now, and I think people just are not talking about it, Obi is really lucky that IQ is taking kind of like all the shine or all the attention. Because remember, Obi was supposed to be the guy who came in ready to play. And I don't think we're utilizing him in the best way, but he doesn't really look ready to play. But IQ certainly does. What do you think of IQ?
I 100% agree with you. Immanuel Quickley, it is his first year in the NBA. He's already making waves. Everyone that talks about him, as far as like the not all the newscasters, but the sportscasters are all have him high on their radar.
Yeah.
They all know his field goal, they all know his free throw percentage, which I think is 92 right now because he missed a couple, but it was like 97 before that or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
They all know that he's a dynamic player. He has the potential to be that dynamic player. They all know, right, we got him in the second round, so he's like this sort of gem that we got out of the draft. And it's his first year. He's playing great. I'm so happy. Like, and you're so right. Like, him playing as well as he's playing has taken all of the eyes off of Obi. No one's even talking about Obi. We're just talking about this guy. He's a solid talent in the making, for sure. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but he's a talent. He's a steady talent in the making. And the biggest asset to me that he has is also the thing that I always tell you is the most attractive quality about anyone, and that is confidence. Yeah. And that confidence that he has, you can't make that up. Like, he has that he came with that. None of those coaches taught him that. He came with that confidence. I came to bring the pain, Kenny Payne, up in the house. I saw him tonight. I was peeping him tonight.
Yeah, listen, 100%. You said it. I think, you talk about a guy like Frank or even Knox, right? You saw how confidence is just not there with them all the time. I thought Frank was terrible to start, but he played much better in the second half, played some defense. The refs again, we'll talk about that. But IQ, this shows you, we've seen like rookies in the past struggle, but IQ came in, built for New York, ready for New York. What a draft pick. Obi was the number 8 pick. Like, you have to remember how high he was drafted. You consider what we're getting out of IQ as a 25th pick. Insane. Let's talk about Randle, the man who I love that he was pissed at the end. I love that he showed fire. Randle struggled a lot early, but late in the game, he just kept getting bucket after bucket when we needed it. This rivalry is going to be a thing. I know a lot of Knicks fans are trying to say, oh, we don't care, whatever. It's going to be a thing.
We care. Tonight was like a playoff game for us.
Yeah, you see Randle after the game. He's not, I'm sure he's pissed in general because of how it went, but he's not, like, he knows this game had more eyes on it. It's national TV. Spike Lee finally coming back. First off, you know what, Spike?
Well,
I got a ball to pick with you, Spike.
But what I was going to say, you said that he's back, and I was going to say he's not necessarily back because he's not at the Garden. He's in Brooklyn.
I was looking to see what hat he'd be wearing tonight.
So let's see him because he's had season tickets on the floor for the Knicks for probably 30 plus years. Yeah. So I want to see him back on the floor in the Garden because that's where the incident happened, and that's where I think he doesn't want to go back to. So I don't know. I'm waiting to see him in the Garden.
I think if we're in the playoffs, or in the playoff hunt, you'll see him. But let's talk about Randle tonight, putting the team on his back again late. It really sucks about the last play. Obviously, he touched the ball, but even then, even though it should have been called differently, I still feel I wish we got a real shot up because we went through so much to get the ball back. It sucked that we didn't even get to see it go up,
Yeah. Randle had that bad game the other day and sort of reminiscent of last season, right? But I wasn't really worried. I don't think he's going to regress. Is that correct to say regress back to that? Okay. I don't think he's going to regress to that. I think that we have bad games once in a while, or we're not like ourselves, or like we're whatever. So I still think he's a solid piece for us. We don't want to trade him at this point, right?
Oh, no, not even.
He's giving us exactly what we want. He's giving us what we wanted to get from him from the beginning, and he's aware of that. The team's aware of that. The media is aware of that. He's He's our team leader. He's our team captain. To me at this point, he is the gel sort of holding the entire team together. So if they did decide to trade him, which I did not want, I'm not throwing that out there. But if they did, to me, they're breaking apart the entire wall they just put together.
Yeah, I cannot even remotely see it happening now. Because there's a point where Randle's playing well and you wonder if Leon might see him as a potential asset.
Right?
He's passed that so much because he's, like you said, he's gone from an asset to the spirit. You can't trade the spirit of your team. Like, I'm being real. Randle has, that's all, and it's all on him. You got to give him full credit because he took himself not only on playing better than last year or I'm an all-star, he took himself beyond that to like, this is the guy you want here when the Knicks are great. Like, I look at our team right now, what's happened this season and what's appearing to us. It's very clear that Immanuel Quickley, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle, those three in particular, and you can toss Mitch in there, somewhat, but I feel like definitely those three 100% showed you they got to be Knicks for a long time. They got to stay here. You need to re-sign them and you add the pieces around them. I want to say this about Randle real quick because I know you got to say something quick. Randle tonight, you saw him in the first half struggle. Second half played a bit better. He had a couple plays, he dished it out. And unfortunately, it was Frank one time, and unfortunately, it was Burks another time, and Burks can hit a shot, but he didn't then. And I look at Randle, and they both missed, and we needed those threes. Frank was 0 for 5 tonight. He has to hit 2 of those threes. If he's not going to be doing anything else really on offense, he's got to hit these open threes. But regardless, I'm imagining Randle when it's great shooters out there. We have the most cap room in the NBA. The good thing about this season above all is shown the front office and Tibbs and Leon Rose and everyone, this is what we have. Now we can spend the money to add in what we need. We're not guessing. We're not starting from scratch like we do so often, right? Now it's like, okay, we got to add it. We need a point guard. We clearly need a point guard, right? We need another shooter on the wing.
We need an additional piece. That's it. That's it, an additional piece. You just spoke about RJ Barrett, my man, coming off his career high the other day, which was fantastic to see. And let me tell you, this kid, right, who's so young, has come in as like a...
He's younger than Quickley. Hold up, he's younger than Quickley. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, I know he one of the younger players. Isn't he like the youngest player on the team?
Is he right now?
Yeah, I think he's the youngest player on the team.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, youngest player on the team, right, has come in, solid piece. You know, the thing is, the draft he came in with Zion and Morant, right? I think people have been talking about this, but they're such like flashy like guys, and he's not. So because of that, people are kind of looking at him like, oh, he was your third pick. Like, who the hell is he? But he stayed quietly in the cut. He's building himself. His body at 20 years old, his neck is huge. My BF has said his neck is so huge, right? He already has this man body. However, what he is about to have is that man's strength.
Oh, he has it now.
No. So here's the thing.
So
because of his size, right? He's like this. Listen, he's going to be trouble in this league. When he learns to use it, when he gets that man strength, right? And when he knows how he can use his body, talk about 90s bully ball basketball, that is RJ. RJ is going to learn to use his body in this league and be like a brick house. People are going to be running into him and falling over. And he, like you said, he's 20. I want to say, and I'm not sure, but I want to say he's the youngest player playing for the Knicks right now.
This is the guy that cried at the draft and also said, yo, I'm a Knick. If you cannot write a better story than this. RJ Barrett is our captain, like going for the next 15 years to me.
Yes.
Beyond Randle, whatever happens there. RJ's incredible. He's showing so much. Like you said, he's not a high jumper like Zion. He's not John Moran, who's flashy. So he's solid. He does his work every day. There's been a lot of comparisons about him tossed around the past few days. And it really feels like Jimmy Butler is such an excellent example of who RJ Barrett's going to be. And if not more, because Jimmy Butler was nowhere near this good at this age. RJ Barrett gives me that vibe of, even if he's not the best player on the team, he's maybe going to be the most important guy. He's going to bring the team together. And his leadership is just going to grow more and more as he gets older. Just to wrap up, I want to talk quickly about the refs. Again, Frank got I thought Frank was terrible in the first half. I think since All-Star break, he's not been good at all. He's looked iffy. The game before this, he started. I feel like Frank has not taken his opportunities at all. Tibbs started him in the last game and he was poor. I know he played 11 minutes. He took him out. But tonight, I thought he started really badly again. But that second half, he came in and him and Reggie started playing some really good defense on Kyrie and Harden. And the thing is, Kyrie and Harden still scored because they're so good. Kyrie's insane. Frank and Reggie, they were just at least putting so much effort into stopping Harden and Kyrie late. You could see it bothered them a little bit. It got the Nets out of their flow. Right? Because what was happening before is they were picking apart what they wanted and setting up their teammates. They were focusing so much on getting past Frank and Reggie. It kind of broke them up. We went a little bit of a run. Frank got 4 fouls that were all BS to me. And Frank he doesn't get these calls because he's not a loud guy. And I'm telling you, if Frank was a mean guy, he would get the calls because they would be like, oh, he's mean. Right? It's like, oh, you're being mean. It's like if someone's being like an asshole, sorry for cursing anyone watching, but it's like someone's being an asshole, right? And you know them like that. You would say, oh, that's how he is. If a nice guy decides to be an asshole randomly, it's like, oh, what happened, man? He changed. So I think with Frank, what happens is because he's just not an aggressive guy, the ref just called all these fouls on him. At least 2 or 3 of those were BS. I'm surprised. We even got the call later with the jump ball with Joe Harris. I actually thought they were about to call it against us. Thank you, they did. and then we still get screwed in the end. Refs tonight, Scott Foster, man. I want to get banned from YouTube.
The Knicks don't get respect in the league.
Yeah.
Frank definitely gets no respect from any of the refs ever. 5 fouls in 16 minutes? Really?
6? It was 6 because he fouled out. Yeah.
Okay, so 6
I think it was 6 because he fouled out.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you listen to that, it sounds horrible, right? But here you are talking about the great defense he played in the second half, which he did. But if you look at his stats, it doesn't. So the thing about Frank's stats, and we always say this about him, how he plays, there are no numbers for that. You have to be a person that's really delving into basketball and seeing what he's doing and saying, oh, but he played great defense. He played great defense. He scored nothing and he fouled out. What do you mean? No, but he played great defense.
He has to hit shots. I love him to death.
Yeah.
But listen, it's year 4. You know what I mean?
So you're right about him having to hit shots. And what I noticed tonight, which we always notice with him anyway, is there was several opportunities, nice opportunities that he had from in the first quarter to the last quarter. Opportunities that he had where he had the ball, he hesitated and he looked to throw the ball to somebody else. And if he had the confidence, right, he would have thrown that ball up, and I guarantee you he would have made at least 2 of those 3-pointers. I do believe that.
We needed it. He needed it.
Tried. Sometimes he doesn't even want to try. And that's what I see from him. He doesn't even want to try. It's almost like I'm afraid to throw it up and then not get the point, so I'd rather give it to somebody else.
Yeah, that's definitely it.
That's what I see. That's what I see from him. And he has to give us some points. You can't give us 0 points.
Yeah, he's got to. I mean, the thing is, where he's in now, he's clearly not going to be a point guard. He's going to be like a 3 guy. He needs to hit these shots. But we lose in the end. I think there's nothing but great takeaways from this game. And I think in many ways, this game is an example of this entire season overall, right? No matter what we're fighting, no matter how this season ends, guys, this is exactly what you wanted to see from the Knicks as a step. You didn't need them to get to Zion, and not that Zion, but you know what I mean? They didn't need us to get to the promised land in 1 year. They've taken a solid step forward this year. Randle, IQ, RJ, and Mitch as well. They've shown those 4, and especially those 3, that they are a core. And now, to me, honestly, the pieces around it, you can move and wheel and deal and do some stuff. And it's exciting to think now that, I'm glad that Rose didn't. I was worried that Rose might come in and go too crazy too soon before seeing what he had.
And do too much for us even,
Maybe
right?
do too much, right.
You want to do too much for us, yeah.
So what I'm glad is that, look, obviously there's still a trade deadline. I still could see us making a move or 2. But remember, we're still missing Rose. We're still missing Mitch. Even Peyton's out. So I will say for right now, us fighting in a game like this and how we fought all season long, this is great. The Knicks are looking up. I tweeted out something tonight. I tweeted out that, this is the first time I feel confident. And I think we're going to be back to normal by the summer and by 85% next year. I was talking about COVID. Completely talking about COVID. And everyone in the comments were like, yeah, Knicks are looking great. I was cracking up. I'm like, no, I'm talking about COVID. Like things are looking back to normal. Any parting words?
No, I was very happy with the effort tonight. We came in so close, and it sucks because we did have a lot of missed opportunities, and then we did have the refs against us. So, kind of typical thing, but I was happy to see them play with the effort they played with all the way through. I was happy to watch them be able to, when they're able to show us that they can be down 20 something points, and then with a team like the Nets. And it means that our defense was able to play hard enough to stop them from scoring. And then we missed so many shots. And we were still able to get within 3. That shows me that we're a team that you got to be looking out for. And it shows to me that we have some respect around the league.
Not from the refs, but from the coaches. You're right. Listen, the most cap room in the NBA. You have to consider that. The Knicks are doing this with so much money to spend. If we do it right, we're going to be in a good spot. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Drop your comments below. Tell us how much you hate the refs. And have a good night. See you guys next time.